Alright, hey guys, welcome to another Mites tutorial, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make the game Snake in the programming language called Scratch. So what you guys to do is go to scratch.mit.edu and create your free educational account. And once you guys have done that, just head over to the top left and hit create, and we'll get right into it. So let's just wait for this to load. And yeah, you'll be loaded into this coding field right over here. And if you see to the right, you'll be loaded in with a cat, and this cat is a sprite. So what a sprite is it's any object or character you're going to be coding with, and we're not going to be coding with a cat. So what you're going to do is select the delete button right over here, hit that, and instead of having the cat, we're going to make our own sprite. So go to choose a sprite, go up and hit paint, and what we're going to do right now is just make a simple snake. So you can choose any color you want, but since I want this game to be like the actual Snake game, I'm just going to make it green. Alright. And now where it says costume 1, replace that with Snake. And where it says sprite 1, replace that with Snake also. Hit enter. And I want you guys to select your rectangle tool. Hit that. And now just zoom in. But make sure you're aligned with this arrow right over here. And just create a simple square. Like so. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just make it as square like as you can, and try getting it to around this size over here. All right, and just drag that to the middle so we won't have any issues, and go back to your code plane. All right, so once you guys have finished making your snake sprite, what we're gonna do is get started on actually coding the snake. So what I want you guys to do is go over to your events tab, drag out the one green flag is clicked, drag that over here. And now go over to your motion tab and go to X and go to Y and snap that right under and replace these two numbers. The two numbers could be different for you, but just replace these two numbers with 0 and make sure it's at 0. So basically what that code does is, for example, if I take our snake over here and I just throw it anywhere on the plane and I hit the green flag, it'll always go to the dead center, like so. And that's exactly what we need. Alright, so now I want you guys to head over to your variables tab and hit make a variable. And I want you to name that variable direction. Hit enter. Alright, so now I want you to drag this block out that says set direction to and snap that right under here and set direction to right. Alright, so once you guys have done that, we need to move on to our next step, and our next step is that we want, whenever we hit the up arrow, we want the snake to go up. Whenever we hit the right arrow, we want the snake to go right. And whenever we hit the down arrow, we want the snake to go down. Whenever we hit the left arrow, we want the snake to go left. So now let's code that real quick. So what I want you guys to do is go over to your variables, your control tab, scroll down and get when I start as clone, drag that out over here, and scroll up and click wait 1 second and replace that 1 with 0.1. Hit enter. And now I want you guys to scroll down until you get delete this clone. Alright, so this will basically give you the effect that a snake is happening. So it'll just keep repeating this green block, and it'll basically create after images so it looks like there's a snake moving. So now let's get right into the mechanics of the snake actually working. So go over to your events tab, click when space key is pressed, drag that over here, and go to your variables block and get set direction to, snap that right under there. And instead of clicking when space key is pressed, we're going to make that when right arrow is pressed. And then set the 0 to right. And I want you guys to duplicate this 3 times. So duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. Alright. So now instead of when it says when right arrow is pressed, you're going to make this when left arrow is pressed and make this say left. And again, where it says right arrow is pressed, make that say up arrow. Make that say up. Now make this say down arrow and make this say down. And make sure all your code is correct. And now we're going to test this. So if what we've done is right so far, if I hit the green flag, and if you look in the top left, if I hit the up arrow, it should say up where it says 0. So let's test that out. Alright, so once you've made sure that all your keys are being recognized by the code, we can move on to our next step. All right. So our next step is we're going to finish coding this part over here. So go over to your control tab. I want you to get a forever loop. And inside that forever loop, I want you to get a if blank then block right over here, the first one. Snap that right underneath. Okay, once you guys have gotten that, I want you to go to your operators tab. Get this equals block right over here. Snap that in between. Go to your variables. Go to direction. Snap that in between right over here. And make this say equal to up. And up is on the Y scale, so you're going to go over to the motions tab. Scroll down. Click change Y by. Snap that over here. And click change Y by 5. Alright, so once you guys have done that, I want you to duplicate this. So hit duplicate that once, and snap that right over here. Make sure it's still in the, right over here, excuse me. Make sure it's still in the forever tab. And instead of making direction equal to up, we're going to make that direction equal to down. And what's the opposite of 5? The opposite of 5 is -5. So let's type -5 over here. And again, we're going to duplicate this. So hit duplicate. Click that, and instead of making it say down, we're going to make this say right. And we're going to drag this blue block out. So drag that blue block out. And just make sure your if block is right under the if block above to make everything work correctly. So make sure your code looks like this. And I want you to get a change x by, because the right scale is on the x axis. So get change x by and make that 5. Alright, so once you guys have done that, I want you to repeat this block or hit duplicate. Snap that right underneath. And make this say left. And the opposite of 5 is -5. So make that say -5. And yeah, let's test out our code now. So right now we should have a completely working snake. So hold on. We have one more step actually. So you're going to over to control tab, scroll down, and just click delete this clone. Or no, create clone of myself. Snap that right underneath. And that should just make everything work. So if I hit the green flag, we should have a fully working snake. So let's do this. See, that's perfect. It gives us the illusion of a snake. And now we can get started in actually making the game. So the second sprite we need to make is an apple. So I want you guys to do is click choose a sprite, hit choose a sprite, and I want you to search for an apple. So apple, and hit this apple right here. All right, so once you guys have gotten that apple, now it gets really simple. So just scroll up, get when green flag is clicked, right? And as you can see, this apple is completely huge, and we can't really change the size because we didn't create the sprite, right? So I want you guys to go over to the looks tab, go over to set size to, or change, yeah, set size to. And I want you guys to do set size to about 20% of that. So 20%. Or actually 15, yeah, 15. Around 15%. And if you click the green flag, this apple should be around this size. All right, so once you guys have done that, I want you to go to your motion tab, scroll until you find go to random position, snap under that. And what that'll do is every time I hit the green flag, this apple will automatically go to 15% size and go to a random direction or a random position in this plane. So I'll just click the green flag, apple goes up here, click it again, goes over here, click it again, goes over here. So as you can see, it just goes in a completely random direction. All right, so I want you guys to go drag a forever loop right under the go to random position. Get the if block right over here. Get to sensing. And get saying touch mouse pointer and drag that right over here. And instead of saying touch mouse pointer, I want you to click the drop down menu and make it click snake. All right. So now I want you guys to go over to variables and click make a variable. And I want you to name that variable length. Enter. All right. So once you guys have made that length variable, I want you guys to quickly go to snake. And where it says wait 0.1 seconds, I want you to replace that with length. All right. That's perfect. And once you guys have done that, what I want you guys to do is drag this block right over here, change length by, Snap over here. Make sure length is selected rather than direction, and make that 0.1. 0.1. Alright. Now, go over to your motion tab, click go to random position, snap that under there. And yeah, the fully working Snake game should be working now. So just go over to full screen and just have fun playing with it. So if I click the green flag, we should start beginning. And every time you eat the apple, the snake will get bigger. You see over here? Every time you eat the apple, the snake gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So if your game is not working exactly like this, I want you guys to go back in the video and just rewatch. You probably missed something. But as you can see, this is a very basic snake game and it's working. So for example, if you want to stop playing the game, just hit the green stop sign, the red stop sign, and then where it says length, exit out of that and just select your length and make that back to 0, and then you start at square one. Right. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you had fun making this game with me, and see you in the next Mites tutorial. Thank you.